Hi class, in this video we are going to discuss solving logarithmic equations. So in solving for logarithmic equations, here are some techniques and strategies that we can apply. So first one is rewriting to exponential equation. Use logarithmic property and apply the one-to-one property of logarithmic function. So, mamaya malalaman natin when are we going to rewrite it to exponential form, when is it applicable to use logarithmic property, and to apply a one-to-one property. So, when you say one-to-one property of logarithmic function, take note of this, that for a logarithmic function f of x is equal to logarithm of x base b if logarithm of u base b is equal to logarithm of v base b, then you can express it as u equal to v. Then another is use the zero factor property, which is if a times b is equal to 0, then a times a equal to 0 or b is equal to 0. So do not also forget when you're solving in logarithmic equation is to check if you obtain values that result to a defined logarithmic equations. So always do some checking after you solve for the values of your logarithmic functions. First thing, let's first recall the different properties and laws of logarithm. So we have here the properties: log b base b is equal to 1, log 1 base b equal to 0, b raised to logarithm of x base b, you will have equal to x, and logarithm of b raised to x with base b is equal to x. For the laws, we have the product, logarithm of m times n base b can be expanded into equal to logarithm of m base b plus the logarithm of n base b. For the quotient law, we have the logarithm of m over n base b equal to the expanded form logarithm of m base b minus the logarithm of n base b. And we have the power law, logarithm of m raised to n base b is equal to n times the logarithm of m base b. So, this is an equation. So, pwede po siyang vice versa. So, ito, pwede mong i-transform in this one. And then, expanded form can be condensed. Pwedeng ganon. So, do not forget these laws and properties because this will be useful as we solve different logarithmic equations. So let's have our example number 1. Find the value of x in the following equation. We have the logarithm of x plus 3 base 5 equal to the logarithm of 22 base 5. So for this example, we will use the one-to-one property. So obviously, we can use the one-to-one property again. When you say one-to-one property, so it states that if you have the logarithm of u base v equal to the logarithm of v base b, if the logarithm has the same basis, you can rewrite it or express it as simply u equal to v. So, ganun din po gagawin natin. So, we will have x plus 3 equal to 22. Now, we have a simple equation na lang, algebraic equation. So, we can now easily solve for the value of our x. So, for us to solve for the value of our x, we have to isolate it in one side of our equation. So, we have to transfer or we have to add negative 3 to this equation for us to cancel out the positive 3 do sa side ni x. So, dito, mag-remain na lang natin is x is equal to 22 minus by addition property of inequality. Yan. So, we add negative 3 on both sides. So, kaya po makakancel to. Yun nasa left side natin. And magkakaroon tayo ng 22 minus 3 sa ating right side. So, our x now will be equal to 19. Simplify. So, again, remember, sabi po sa atin kanina, dun sa property, when you solve for a logarithmic equation, you always have to check your answer. So, let's check. Checking. So, if we have the logarithm of 19 plus 3, substitute na lang natin agad. Equal po ba siya sa ating logarithm of 22 base 5? So, 19 plus 3 obviously is equal to the logarithm of 22 base 5, and it is equal to the logarithm of 22 base 5. So, therefore, our final answer is x is equal to 19 for example number 1. So, let's have our example number 2. We have the logarithm of 9x base 3 minus the logarithm of x minus 8 base 3 equal to 4. So, meron tayong 3 strategies. We can rewrite it in exponential form or equation rather, or use also the logarithmic properties first, or use one-to-one property. So, obviously, for this one, we cannot apply one-to-one property like the example number 1, but we can condense into one logarithmic equation or expression itong ating logarithm of 9x base 3 and logarithm of x minus 8 base 3 by applying our quotient law. Diba? Kasi meron silang operation which is minus, and meron silang same basis. So, obviously, we can condense it in using our quotient law. So, we will have a new logarithmic equation which is the logarithm of 9x over x minus 8 base 3 equal to 4. So, ayan. Meron na tayong isang logarithm. Now, for this one, we can now change. We have to change, or we can now change our exponential equation or form, or our logarithmic form into an exponential form. So, we will have our 9x over x minus 8 equal to our base, which is 3, then our exponent equal to 4 or 4. Now we have 9x over 8 minus 8, x minus 8 equal to 3 raised to 4. Now let's simplify and solve for our x. So first thing we have to do is eliminate yung ating denominator, which is 8 minus x. So for us to do that, we have to multiply using the multiplication property of equality. Multiply both sides by 8x minus 8. So, when we try to multiply both sides by x minus 8, we will have, makakancel po yung nandito sa ating left side. Then, we will have na lang 9x equal to 3 raised to 4 times x minus 8. And 3 raised to 4 is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is, sulat na lang natin, as 81. Okay, now simplify na natin. Distribute natin itong ating 81 sa ating x minus 8 by distributive property. So, we will have 9x equal to 81x minus 648. Then, simplify natin. Again, ang purpose natin is, or ang goal natin is to isolate yung ating x. So, itong ating 9x, lipat natin sa other side of the equation at itong ating negative 648, transfer natin sa ating kabila. So, you will have 81x minus, transpose natin yung ating ang ating 9x, so we will have negative 9x, and ang ating 648 as positive 648. So, we will have 72x, 81 minus 9, 72x, then, siya sa 648. So, simplify lang natin. So, we will have 648 equal to 72. Cancel out natin yung 72 by dividing both side by 72. So, you will have here na lang x, and 648 divided by 72 is equal to 9. Now, let's check if our x is the true solution for our example number 2 by substituting its value to our original equation. So, we will have the logarithm of 9 times 9 base 3 minus the logarithm of 9 minus 8 base 3. Equal po ba siya sa ating 4? So, logarithm of 9 times 9, that is logarithm of 81 base 3 minus the logarithm of 1 base 3. Is it equal with with positive 4? So, 81 with base 3. So, again, 81 can be expressed as 3 raised to 4. So, therefore, we can say that this is logarithm of 3 raised to 4 base 3 minus the logarithm of 1 base 3. Using the property of logarithm, we will have 0. Tama? And then, again, using the property of 0, or the property of logarithm rather, so we will have logarithm of 3 raised to 4 base 3, so we will have 4 minus 0, which is obviously equal to 4. So, ayan. Therefore, our solution, which is x equal to 9, is true. Next, let's proceed with our next example. We have the logarithm of 2x base 4 equal to the logarithm of 10 base 4. So, both logarithm and both sides. So, we can apply the 1-to-1 property to solve for this equation. So, using 1-to-1 property, we will have 2x equal to 10. So, ayan, madali na lang. Dividing both sides by 2. So, we will have x is equal to 5. Now, let's check kung tama po ba to. If we have the logarithm of 2 times 5 base 4, is it equal with the logarithm of 10 base 4? And 2 times 5 is 10, which is obviously the logarithm of 10 base 4 equal to the logarithm of 10 base 4.